Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise and get straight to the insights you need.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're diving into something that, well, it literally shapes the world around us. Property development. It's just so much more than just blueprints and buildings, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's really about crafting the fabric of our societies.
Yeah, laying down foundations that impact, well, everything. Local economies, socioeconomic outcomes for, generations.
Exactly. The structures we build, how we plan them, they have this profound influence on how communities thrive, or sometimes how they struggle.
And it seems like the investment side of things has gotten incredibly complicated lately.
Oh, definitely. You've got rapidly changing global dynamics, these complex cross-border supply chains. It's all feeding into this intricacy.
So does that mean, the old ways of making decisions, the traditional tools, they're just getting overwhelmed?
Pretty much, yeah.
So what's the path forward then? Are we talking about a whole new approach? Maybe something like automating the thinking?
Precisely. That complexity means the old methods just struggle to keep pace.
Right.
And that's why this idea of automating the thinking, using advanced tools, specifically things like GraphRag, it's not just a nice to have anymore. It's really becoming imperative for success.
Okay, so our mission today then is to unpack that. How this advanced AI, these sophisticated data structures like GraphRag, how they're becoming essential.
Exactly. We want to explore how they help navigate the scarcity of, say, strategic land positions, how they optimize building tech while tackling climate concerns.
Making sure living conditions are sustainable, managing energy use efficiently.
All of that. It's about bringing a whole new level of precision, really, to a sector that's often worked with fragmented data.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this, let's zoom out first. How does property development actually shape lives? Because it's not just about houses, right? It's communities, futures.
Generations, absolutely. I mean, look at Malaysia's housing sector. There's the significant ongoing challenge there.
What's
Adapting and specifically catering to medium and low income groups. It really highlights that development isn't just a commercial thing.
No, there's a huge societal responsibility baked in. And you see different takes on this publicly, too. We looked at a Reddit thread, and there was this sentiment about dead malls and current property trends.
Right, I saw that.
Some folks there felt like these developments are just ways for the wealthy to sort of park their money.
Yeah, and that perception is that it drives up prices, pushes rents higher,
Makes homeownership tougher for the middle class.
and ultimately kind of funnels wealth upwards. It's a view you hear quite a bit.
It is, but then you have contrasting stories, right? Like Penang, historically.
Yeah, that's a fascinating case. After its free port status was revoked back in the 60s, Penang faced, serious economic decline, massive unemployment.
Right.
But then through this really strategic shift towards high-tech manufacturing.
The whole Silicon Valley of the East thing.
Exactly. It completely transformed its economy. And the results were pretty impressive. Low unemployment, low inequality, measured by the Gini coefficient.
And wasn't it like the second highest GDP per capita in Malaysia?
That's right. It just shows how strategic land use and economic focus can totally reshape a region's fortunes. Development choices have real long-term impact.
Such a powerful example. But today, the challenges feel, I don't know, maybe even more complex. Multifaceted, definitely global. Like construction costs escalating everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. That's a global challenge. You've got soaring expenses for materials, financial conditions are tightening up, and these persistent labor shortages.
Yep.
It affects pretty much everyone, slowing down new projects, even in established markets.
And for the developers themselves, this must create a whole cascade of problems.
It does. You're talking diminishing financial capital, maybe unsold stock piling up.
The risk of those liquidated damages, LAD, if projects get delayed.
Exactly. Plus concerns over quality, launches getting deferred, which messes up their pipeline, high vacancies in investment properties.
Tenancy defaults, even.
Yeah, and then maybe not enough operational cash flow and financing in tight capital markets. It's definitely a tightrope walk.
Wow. And as if that wasn't enough,
Yep.
the environment itself is changing things.
Right. Beyond the financial pressures, you've got environmental shifts adding complexity. Climate change means more frequent, more severe weather events.
Which has to factor into building decisions.
Directly. And then there's this strong market shift towards sustainable investments. Everyone wants green buildings.
Which is great, essential even.
But incorporating those green practices, while crucial, often makes projects more costly and just harder to implement.
It's definitely a dynamic sector, though. We saw, for instance, Johor Corporation, J Corp, Their real estate and infrastructure arm had like a 48% revenue jump in FY 2023. So there's activity.
Significant activity, yeah. But then you look at IOI Properties Group. Their profit before tax actually declined, partly due to interest costs on a major project, the IOI Central Boulevard Towers.
And they specifically mentioned focusing on clearing out completed inventory.
They did, which really signals those intense market pressures. Developers have to be incredibly agile right now.
Okay, so given all this complexity, all this data flying around, it makes sense that the old ways of managing information are starting to creak.
They really are. You know, Peter Drucker had that great line, "Information is data endowed with relevance and purpose."
Meaning raw data alone isn't much use.
Exactly. If you can't connect it, make sense of it, see the relationships, it just sits there, no matter how much you have.
And that leads to that idea of de-knowledging, right? Which I find fascinating.
It is. The idea that even valuable knowledge becomes effectively useless if there's just too much of it.
It's just overwhelming. Turns back into noise.
Right. It loses its purpose, its relevance. So something like GraphRag isn't just about collecting more data.
It's about making sense of that overwhelming pile, finding the connections again.
Precisely. Cutting through the noise, highlighting the critical relationships, making it useful again.
And this is where traditional databases like relational databases, RDBMS, they hit a wall.
They often do, yeah. Especially with complex relationship queries, or what they call joins.
Trying to link lots of different tables together.
Right. As the number and depth of those connections increase, performance can just slow down dramatically. Sometimes they practically come to a grinding halt.
So if you're trying to link, I don't know, a property's location, its ownership history, zoning laws, sales trends, maybe even geological surveys.
The traditional database can really struggle with that complexity.
So the key insight today is that how data is related is actually the important part.
It's truly important, especially now. It's not just the individual data points, but the dynamic connections between them that unlock real insights.
Okay, so that leads us right to GraphRag and knowledge graphs. What are they exactly?
Think of them as really intuitive databases that are built around relationships. They're designed to sort of mimic how things are connected in the real world, like building a really rich map where every fact connects to other relevant facts.
Like a conceptual map of connections. But practically for a developer, how is that different from just a super detailed spreadsheet or database? Where's the extra power?
Well, it's about more than just seeing the connections. Knowledge graphs are powerful for reasoning, both deductive reasoning.
Deriving new facts from existing ones.
Exactly. And also inductive reasoning, spotting patterns, generalizing from observations to make predictions. They might not always be perfectly precise, but incredibly valuable.
So they can infer things a spreadsheet just can't.
Right. They can connect dots in ways that reveal insights you wouldn't otherwise see.
So it's not just drawing lines between points, it's adding rich detail to those points and lines. Like you could map a property, then attach its permits, environmental risks, price history, all directly onto the graph.
That's it, exactly. That flexibility comes from what we call property graphs.
Okay.
In these graphs, both the nodes, the things, and the edges of the relationships can have their own properties and labels.
So lots of detail.
Loads. It gives you incredible flexibility for modeling really complex stuff like you find in databases such as Neo4j. It allows for a granularity, a depth of insight that older systems struggle with when dealing with messy, multifaceted real estate data.
Okay, so the AI part of GraphRag, what kind of intelligence are we talking about here? Is it basic stuff or more advanced?
We're talking sophisticated models, things like transformers, which are really good at understanding nuances and relationships in text and data.
Like an expert analyst reading reports?
Sort of, yeah, operating on attention mechanisms. And then you have graph neural networks, GNNs.
Okay.
Think of GNNs as the architects. They're key for knowledge graphs because they build this rich, interconnected understanding of how all the pieces fit together within the graph structure. They capture and spread that intricate information.
So some GNNs are better than others. I saw mentions of advanced ones.
Right. There are advanced architectures like the double-branch multi-attention graph neural network, MAGNN.
Bit of a mouthful.
Huh? Yeah. But it's really good at capturing both the big picture, the global structure, and the fine details, the local structure, using different kinds of attention mechanisms together.
Okay, so what does that combination, the transformers, the GNNs, let GraphRag do for a property developer, practically speaking?
It means GraphRag doesn't just connect info, it can reason with it. It can make predictions about market shifts, identify hidden risks, things that go way beyond just pulling up data.
Right.
It really allows organizations to, as the research says, enhance performance, innovation, and decision-making. How? By analyzing data, automating tasks, creating personalized solutions for businesses at a scale and speed that just wasn't possible before.
Sounds incredibly powerful. And the payoff. The ROI, we saw some pretty eye-popping numbers.
The performance edge is really significant. Studies point to a remarkable 417% return on investment over 3 years.
Wow, 417% ROI.
And 60% faster development cycles for organizations using GraphTech.
That's huge. And the efficiency gains seem really concrete, too, like 95% less disk usage.
Yep. And 40% faster data processing, 75% faster supplier discovery.
70% lower, total cost of ownership, 80% reduction in lead times. These aren't small improvements.
No, they're transformative. And it's because this knowledge-based reasoning, the core of GraphRag, can be orders of magnitude more efficient than just brute force statistics.
Needs less computational power.
Drastically less, which makes really complex analyses actually feasible and fast.
Okay, let's bring this down to earth. GraphRag in action in property development. How does it actually optimize things on the ground, like finding those strategic land positions, getting market insights?
Well, it can revolutionize finding those prime parcels. How? By analyzing huge amounts of interconnected data, market demand, existing infrastructure, location suitability factors, linking demographics to seismic data, maybe zoning history.
All in one place.
All connected. And it can finally deliver on that need for user-defined reports and self-serve analytics by easily integrating external data from all sorts of places, state land offices, valuation departments, you name it. It just streamlines strategic decisions, breaking down those old information silos.
And we mentioned J Corp is already using AI and big data for this kind of thing.
Yeah, for things like market research, demand forecasting, site selection, even sophisticated master planning, they're already on that path.
That's where it gets really exciting for our future cities, I think. It's not just finding the land, but optimizing what we build there. How does GraphRag help integrate smart city elements?
Things like smart mobility, energy management, waste solutions, IoT.
Exactly. All contributing to more sustainable living.
It helps by connecting the dots between these technologies and their actual impact. Take Green Building Index Gold certification.
Okay.
That might mandate features like, say, double-glazed low-E windows. GraphRag can instantly show how choosing those specific windows connects to reducing heat gain by 50%, cutting electricity use by maybe 73%.
And it weighs that against cost, installation complexity, supply chains.
Exactly. It optimizes the selection and integration across the entire project lifecycle, showing the interconnected benefits and costs.
So we are seeing real efforts here. J Corp's biogas plants using palm oil effluent.
POME, yeah. Converting waste to energy. And their plans to commercialize biomethane.
In EcoWorld, using rainwater harvesting, recycling materials, adopting renewables.
Yeah, it shows that the industry is definitely moving towards greater sustainability. But it's not just the buildings, is it?
Right. What about the wider community impact, socioeconomic stuff, like affordable housing?
That's where J Corp's mission statement, Membina and Membella, really comes in.
Creating value, enabling sustainable communities.
Exactly. That guides their developments, including building affordable flexi homes aimed at the M40 group.
The middle 40% income earners in Malaysia, directly addressing that need we talked about earlier.
Precisely.
And J-Land Group, JLG, they also have this big commitment, right? Building a digital-first and sustainable ecosystem.
Yeah, aiming for end-to-end solutions for a smarter and more sustainable future. It shows developers are increasingly thinking bigger about their societal role.
So GraphRag can help with that too, like compliance and talking to stakeholders.
Definitely. It can support enhanced regulatory compliance and more proactive stakeholder engagement. How? By giving you the insights to address tricky social and environmental issues.
Including things like free, prior, and informed consent, FPIC.
Critical practices like that, yes. Ensuring developments aren't just profitable, but also socially responsible and genuinely aligned with what the community needs and wants.
Which brings us nicely to the broader organizational shift needed. It's not just about plugging in new tech.
Absolutely not.
We often say knowledge management is like 80% culture and people, 20% technology. The tech is just an enabler.
That's spot on, and it points to a huge cultural challenge. You need to shift from that old knowledge is power, hoarding information mindset.
To knowledge sharing is power.
Exactly. That's essential for GraphRag or any knowledge system to actually work. If people don't share, the system starves.
Crucial point. But it's good to see big players embracing this. J-Corp's AI-driven Phase 3 isn't just a tech project, it's part of their whole J-Corp 3.0 reinvention plan.
Right, becoming a value-driven organization. It shows that strategic commitment right from the top, integrating AI and digital transformation fully.
And this integration, this connected view, it must also help with governance and managing risk.
Oh, hugely. GraphRag's ability to break down silos and provide that crucial context. It naturally leads to a stronger system for risk assessment for policy enforcement,
A clearer picture of everything.
a much clearer, more connected view of operations. Makes it easier to spot potential issues much earlier.
And the results can be tangible. J-Corp reporting 0 confirmed corruption cases and 0 non-compliance in FY 2023.
Now, we can't say that's solely down to GraphRag, of course.
No, but it paints a picture. It illustrates how strong governance, perhaps boosted by these advanced data insights, really strengthens integrity and trust, especially in a complex field like property investment.
It suggests a well-managed organization that's using its data effectively. So, wrapping this up, what does it all mean for you, the listener?
Well, to recap, property development's getting way more complex. Global factors, supply chains, it all means we need a new way to make decisions.
A paradigm shift, really.
And GraphRag seems to offer a really powerful solution here. Unprecedented ways to optimize land choices, push building tech towards sustainability.
And hopefully foster better socioeconomic outcomes, too, bringing that data-driven precision to bear on every aspect.
It really is a powerful tool set emerging. And that leaves us with a final thought, maybe something provocative for you to ponder. Given that property development shapes lives for generations, and now tools like GraphRag can optimize every single facet with this incredible data-driven precision. What happens next? What new societal structures, what new definitions of value might emerge when our built environments are designed not just for quick profit, but with this deep interconnected long-term well-being and sustainability truly at their core?
Something to think about as you look at the buildings around you.